Hi there and welcome. I'm Ricky Novak. I'm a professional leadership coach, a presenter and a speaker across the APAC region. And I'm someone who has had the privilege of building a dynamic career that's been anything but ordinary. Look, it's taken me across continents, through boardrooms, classrooms, and conversations with thousands of people. I've lived it, I've loved it, and I've learned from it. Truth is, I'm still learning every day. So today, whether you're finishing university or stepping into your very first role, I'd love to share some thoughts that might help you get started so you too can love your career journey and still feel as excited about where it takes you as I did way back then and still do today. So what does the real career journey look like? Well, careers never go in a straight line, despite people doing their best to try and line it all up. And like yours and like mine, most will twist and turn and detours in ways you just never saw coming. It often comes without warning and sometimes disguised as opportunities that at the time you may not choose to have. But hey, whoever said choice is always ours. Sure, some of those changes will be exciting and ultimately help you raise the bar, others not so much. How you respond, how you adapt will more likely than most shape your success more than the pathway itself. And the lessons you learn from those experiences will be worth 1,000 explanations of what just happened. It's known in leadership speak as the trial of fire. The things we remember most are the things that makes us a bit hot under the proverbial collar. But they are typically our best teachers. But here's the thing. We must take time to understand the learning and apply it the next time it happens in our lives. Therefore, being resilient, open-minded, curious is going to become your greatest asset, along with an open and positive mindset. So the biggest lesson in this, lean into uncertainty, guys. It's going to happen. See it as your classroom. It's your testing ground. One where it's not about pass or fail, it's not about good or bad, it's the space in between called experience, and go with it, embrace it. Let's talk now about owning your growth. Sure, it's true that luck helps when it comes to being in a position for growth. Yeah, connections help too, that's for sure. And a bit of right place, right time never hurts either, right? That's for sure. But when it all comes together, wow, it's the holy grail. But long-term success, that's on you. You're the CEO of your career. That means you're the one being responsible to be proactive and learning and knowing and respecting, finding out how you work best, and how you can apply that learning to your day-to-day activities, and then help set yourself up for future opportunities based on your growing knowledge. It also means seeking feedback and applying it. But here's the thing, what I learned, seek it from those you admire for their skills, for their acumen, for their experience, for their insights. It's not necessarily for their friendship. Hard one, but an important one. It's about nurturing relationships because people are going to change in their relationships and so are you. You don't know where people are going to end up, so looking after relationships is going to be paramount to your own development. And by doing that, we adopt a mindset that constantly asks, how can I learn from them? What can I learn from myself? And how can I learn from this? So in summary, remember, no one is more responsible for their career than you. Not your boss, not your colleagues, not the leaders, not those around you. Right from the get-go, you need to show your intention and own it so others can see your vision and respect you for it. Let's talk a little bit about that word experience that I've just mentioned. Sure, it often does come from the bear pit, but how do you get into that bear pit before you're armed and ready? Well, sometimes you don't. But it's got to be your most important teacher. So we have to learn quickly and recover from those experiences, even if we're not ready for it. Because it's about the speed of recovery that it's going to make the difference. It's not really about what matters on the day. It's about what you do with it and how you adjust it. So how do you get the experience if you're not offered it? Maybe it's because you're just starting out and maybe no one knows you yet, and maybe you haven't put your hand up. Maybe because, well, I don't know, there's 100 things that may get in the way. But diving into a real situation where things are still messy, uncertain and challenging, or sometimes you've just got to get in there, that sets you up more quickly than anything else. So the best piece of advice I can now say is simply find something that is most likely to give you a go. Stretch outside your comfort zone, try it. You won't be perfect, that's okay. But perfection, we know, often gets in the way of progress. So make that start. Show up, be open to learning. That's the thing that's going to build you and your confidence, your exposure, and your credibility. And it goes hand with building your personal brand as someone who's willing to step in and step up. Sure, it's always easy to wait for someone else to give you that leg up, but sometimes that doesn't happen, and sometimes we don't have that luxury. So what I've gained in my experience in this business is to get into learning in many different ways as possible, because you just never know when that skill or knowledge can be used in some way. The other reason is, and this is also something that I've taken to heart, is that we cannot always rely on others to be there for us, to teach us, to show us, and give us that opportunity to learn. It's going to be up to us to take that initiative. And now I know I'd rather be on the front foot, even with a little understanding of a task, rather than none at all. And I can intuitively now put pieces together. So what about you? Where do you think you can step in and learn? That's a good question, and I want you to consider, where do you fit right now? Where would you like to be? How can you stretch your ideas and stretch your canvas? What does the career journey map look like? Where do you want to work? What kind of people do you want to work with? Most importantly, what kind of impact do you want to have? And who do you want to be with you on that journey? I also learned who I don't want on my journey. And I want you to think about being with the right people who are going to nurture you for all the right reasons that are going to foster your growth. Right now then, it's important to think about your personal brand, as important as it is to think about the professional brand of the company that you work for. You know why? Well, because it's a foundation of how you show up every day, your first pillar of leadership. Your personal brand isn't about self-promotion, it's consistency, it's integrity, it's presence. Ask yourself what you think people say about you when you're not in the room now, and what do you want them to say in 5, 10 years from now? What do you want to be known for? Your personal brand is built on moments, decisions, interactions, everyday interactions. It's not becoming the Academy Award-winning person, it's becoming someone who's authentic to you. It's also not about a one-off activity, a set and forget. And it doesn't mean you have to reinvent all the time to be something that's not authentic to you. It's about owning who you are and standing up for it, so others know about you and what you're all about. Your career deck and questions are going to be great tools to use as you journey in your career to help you understand, what are you passionate about? What's your superpower? Who can help me grow? And as you go through it, I want you to think about the things that are most important for you now and what you want them to be in the future. For me, it was about emotional intelligence and communication skills. That was something I believed was my superpower. I'd like to encourage you to bust the myth of the so-called soft skills that people are talking about right now when it comes to communication. They're not the soft skills. They're the hard skills. We can all learn tech skills, more or less, but the essential skills like communication, like presenting confidently, like reading the room, like communicating under pressure, like understanding personality skills, like influencing others, they're the hard skills. Because we know tech may do the work, but people make the decisions as others that may be promoted to technical ability and tech changing all the time. We've got to be able to cut through and work out to our advantage. And the advantage will be our communication skills. If you or someone around you can't connect, self-regulate or understand the impact of your behaviours and how that may play out on others, people will leave, become unmotivated, or sometimes just fail to complete tasks. And what does that cost? So, bottom line, influence and communication does open doors. It does matter. And what helps is knowing your superpower. Think about it. Do you have one? What is it? Would you like to discover or uncover it? Could it be something like calmness under pressure? Are you a natural connector? Don't underestimate that. Is it being empathic? Is it about being creative and the joy that comes with creativity? Could it be even something like, I don't know, sharing a skill that others can learn from that may have great impact on the bottom line or the results around you? Look, whatever it is, own it, hone it, harness it. Don't be your own best kept secret. Let others know what you are most proud of. Just imagine how powerful it can be when you step into that superpower and share the energy and the contribution it can make. For me, it was helping others improvise. I have a performance background, and then I realised that being able to take that experience and work with it in real time was something that was very natural to me, but was excruciating for others. How could that be, I thought? But once I knew I could help my colleagues and now my clients overcome the fears and anxieties around stepping into conversations, presenting or communicating more effectively, I own that superpower. I lent in and I share it. And that's what you might be able to do too once you believe in what you can do. Let's just go back a little bit about the people skills, because it's true. Not everyone exudes charisma, charm, personality, plus, plus, plus. In fact, can you imagine what it would look like if everybody did? It would seem disingenuous, right? However, most people, given the right environment, encouragement and opportunity, can connect naturally and authentically, and they do pretty good. They do have pretty good people skills, such as being empathic, listening to each other, being able to regulate behaviours and emotions appropriately, communicating, and using their social skills of respect and care. Yet, we're dynamic, aren't we? People are unpredictable, sometimes as much as the circumstances we find ourselves in, which can change quickly. And what happens is that as a result of all of those dynamic changes, our behaviour and responses will change. And that's the time when we need to take stock. It's incumbent upon all of us to try and recognise why our responses might change or trigger uncomfortable actions from others. And what can we do to support the situation early before it becomes difficult? That means, can we better understand personality styles and things that may change under pressure? How do we become more predictable, even when we know people with similar personality styles to us? Because our obligation is to understand context matters. So pause, reflect, reset when needed, apologise when appropriate, clarify when things go off track. Recovery matters more than perfection. At this special time in your early career, I can't think of a better time to talk about the value of having a mentor or a coach, because you don't have to do this alone. Finding a guide or a mentor who's going to tell you the truth, hear you, and not just give you advice, but to listen to you is paramount. someone who will give you real-time feedback, someone who keeps your growth at the center of the conversation, focuses on you and connects you to new people, ideas and perspectives. Having a coach or a mentor is like having an outside thinking partner who's unbiased, who's not going to give it to you from their perspective, but gives you permission to share your vulnerabilities without being judged. It's a protected conversation. It's confidential. And it gives you time to explore an idea or a concept. There is no right or wrong, better or worse. It's just up to you to try and work it out with their help. They're not telling you what to do. It's very empowering, I know too, not just from being a coach, but because I too have a number of coaches who I've had in my career, who I trust to have the type of conversations that are going to be really important for me. Because what I've learned is, it's like the old metaphor says, you can't read the label from inside the jar. In other words, you can't work out everything from the inside. You've got to get outside to find out what's really being said to you. So in summary, a powerful early career is built on personal brand rooted in integrity, confident communication and presentation, flexibility, collaboration, having trusted mentors and guides. So remember, please reach out to me, for together we can become bold, curious, and help you enjoy your journey.